I am very excited to introduce my next guest, and what a guest I have on the show. Such a talented actor. Let's say hello to the one and only Mr. Emmett J. Scanlan. Hello. How are you?
Nice. That was a lovely introduction.
Do you like that?
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on the show. It's, you know, it's fantastic. What a year you've had, though. What a good couple of years you've had. I mean, since 2010, you've played the role of bad boy Brendan in Hollyoaks. But did you ever expect to get the reception you've had? Because you have become such a popular guy.
I had absolutely no idea. I mean, it was a bit touch and go for me at the beginning, you know. The Tash alone divided every room, I think, across the country, you know. You get used to it or not. I remember like 4 weeks into shooting my initial 6-month contract, they offered me an extension of 12 months in Hollyoaks. And that was all the backing I needed, you know. It took me 4 weeks into shooting to get used to the style of soap, of continuous drama, you know. It's a different breed of animal to conventional movie or drama, okay? The turnover and the speed is ridiculous. If you can master soap, in my opinion, you can master anything. But when I got Brendan, you know, I wanted to make sure that he was a proper three-dimensional character, okay? He couldn't just be a bad guy. It was too predictable, too easy, okay? He had to be vulnerable. The violence that surrounded him had to be humorous. You know, Tarantino does that excellently with his anti-heroes. You know, they're bad, but you can't help but like them. Brendan's, I mean, he's a psycho. I mean, there's no denying that, and I love to play a psycho. But he's also a father, a brother, a husband. More importantly, he tries to be better. But he's a prisoner to his demons. But there's always that element of hope. And I think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think people can relate to that. It doesn't make it any easier to accept. I'm still utterly shocked and humbled by the popularity of the character. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the people in Great Britain have welcomed me into their homes with open arms, and I'm eternally grateful for them.
And did you enjoy exploring the character and how far he was going to go? Because it must have been, you know, for you as an actor, it must have been great to see this character and, you know, go through different stages and kind of really just go deep into this character. No, I mean, I've been spoiled with storylines since May 19, 2010, since I came into the show. Storyline as a storyline, I've been introduced to characters from my past, Brendan's past has been introduced and stuff like that, so I've been very fortuitous that way. And the fact that he was a bad guy, the fact that I in every interview I made sure that he was that people knew that this guy was a sociopath, a psychopath, which gave him so many different masks, you know. You're different to me than you would be to your mother, to your girlfriend, to your boyfriend, or whatever. Like, everybody has different masks, so it was very important that Brendan had the exact same thing. And as a result, I mean, there was nothing too big or too small that you couldn't get away with. So I got to interact with so many different characters, but the nucleus of the cast that I spent most of my time dancing with, I'm very lucky to have been around. They were great. And I mean, the show, you know, the character Brendan was one of the show's biggest characters. So what was it for you that kind of thought, now's the time to leave the show? Because obviously earlier this year, it was announced that you were going to leave the character. I mean, so was there something that kind of made you think, hang on, now's the time?
Yeah, when I was making Malibu cocktails and shares instead of killing people with hammers. I told you, like, I've been very lucky playing him, okay? He's such a complex, versatile character that storylines just fell into his lap, and I reaped the bounty as a result. And I'm very grateful for that. I remember I talked to the producer at the time, Emma, about leaving. I felt I'd done what I came to do, and I didn't want to overstay my welcome. I didn't want to be the last to leave a party type of guy. You know, I told her I wanted to bow out, and she asked me for more time, and I gave it to her. You know, Hollyoaks Later's was hers, so I knew when she asked, it was for no other reason, and it was for the right reasons. And I know this might sound morbid, but when I die, I want to know I've left behind a bunch of characters that I'm proud of, you know, that others will talk about, that I made a difference no matter how small. You know, I wanted to give Brendan the exit he deserved, and that meant introducing the final nail in his coffin, introducing Papa Brady, who, incidentally, I'm having dinner with as we speak. But, you know, together, the production team, the writing team, they came up with this exit storyline. Myself and Brona had a great say in the story as well, and how we wanted to go. And then looking at it on the box, I have to say that I was very proud of it. You know, everyone behind the camera and in front of it did a wonderful job. I still think Brendan should have died, and I've always wanted that. How if they can bring Foxy back from the dead, then, you know, they could have brought Brady back, but it wasn't to be. And I can't really argue with this, because what they gave me was an exit reserved for those special characters, and I'm utterly touched by the faith they had in me. What we did, the penultimate episode, was something very special. It was beautiful to watch, and that was down to the writing, the crew, Brian, the director, editor, everyone involved. You know, I love the Cheryl and Brendan relationship. The Stephen thing goes without saying, but Brendan and Cheryl, it's like myself and my sister Orla's relationship. There's that unbreakable, unconditional love that's so rare to find, you know?
And when you were filming your final scenes, I mean, did you personally did it touch you? Did you get slightly emotional? Because you're obviously saying goodbye to some of your friends that you've been filming with for a long time.
I mean, yeah, of course it's emotional, and the moment, which is what it's all about, isn't it? The now. I mean, it was magnificent. You know, my birthday was the 31st of January this year, and on my birthday, that was the scene where they shot me in the episode. So I'm standing there, and there's 16 SWAT team members, there's 4 squad cars, there's a couple of ambulances, there's 2 40-foot cranes and a helicopter searchlight, and I'm looking around, I'm thinking, what did I ever do to land on my feet like this? And it was a very special moment, you know, and I burst out of the door of Shea Shez to say my final confession, and everyone was down in the courtyard singing happy birthday. That's the type of family I was leaving behind, or leaving. You know, and I always said that, like, I'm leaving Hollyoaks, but I ain't leaving you guys. And I still very much keep in touch with those guys. It's 2 years, 7 months, and 16 days, someone told me. I'm not even sure. But, yeah, I mean, I've made friends for life. I mean, of course, it was emotional at the time. But then, you know, you have to find a new home. Home is wherever you lay your head at night, and whatever your next job will be. And
I mean, you played the character so well. I mean, you are such a good actor. But I wanted to know, is that something did you know you wanted to be an actor from a young age? Did you go to a lot of kind of drama schools?
Never.
Never?
No, I didn't. The way I learned was going to auditions, you know, learning not to make those mistakes again, pretty much, you know. I remember the first job I ever did in Ireland. I was in a TV series, and I was horrific. I was horrible. I was probably the worst thing in it. And there was that national humiliation as I watched myself on TV being too big or just not knowing what I was doing. And no acting class can teach you that, humility. And I promised I'd never do that. But as regards to the answer to your question, did I know I wanted to do that? When I was a kid, I was watching Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, in the TV room. That's what we called it back home, not the living room, the TV room, because we did all our living outside of that room. The TV room. Anyway, I'm about like 10 or 11, and I'm watching Rocky. I find myself behind the sofa, shadow boxing to the music. I'm sure many boys did. Being inspired at 10, I wanted to be a hero, even if it was for pretend. And the irony is I'm usually cast as the Dolph Lundgren character, but at least I still get the shadow box. And if I can do one movie, one show, do one character, which makes some kids feel the way I felt all those years ago, then I'll be a happy man. Job done.
I mean, your acting style, it's so unique. I mean, when you do these kind of intense scenes, the emotion you put into it is kind of second to none. So, obviously, when I watched you, I thought you went kind of intense training, you've gone to all of these colleges and universities, but the fact that you've just kind of done it from auditions is quite I think it's a big achievement for yourself.
Just get outside and experience, and then it happens. It happens naturally, but I really appreciate that. I should have you as my agent.
I'll be up for that. Now, what's next for you now? Because you must have so many upcoming projects, you know, to work on now. You know, pantomime or theatre stuff. I don't think I've ever answered this one. I mean, it's very important that the next step is something that pushes me forward as an actor, I guess, you know, a script that challenges me, a story I want to tell. You know, personally, I'd love to be part of something new. I mean, I can do drama. I love drama. The darker, the better. But I'm in love with comedy. So I guess I'd like to do some comedy sometime. I've been very fortuitous. I'm in an incredibly fortuitous position. And
I was offered a show here in England and one in America that I said no to. Not because I didn't want to do it, but because I didn't really get a semi-thinking about it. I didn't get turned on thinking about it. You know, getting turned on. You know, you need to get turned on by certain projects. I'm waiting to hear on one project that, if it happens, that would be just amazing. I guess I've been really close to getting a few projects in the last few weeks, scripts that would make any actor salivate, but it's gone to the other guy. And I don't mind that. In every case, the other guy has been an exceptional actor. At least I'm in the running. You know, it's all about enjoying the game. That's a secret. You know, Jim Carrey said there are thousands of jobs out there for me. I just can't hear them yet. Well, I got my ear to the grindstone. I'm listening.
Well, I mean, after this interview, you could have Babe Station calling you. I mean, you don't know that. You could.
Get it.
It's going to be exciting, because, I mean, obviously Hollyoaks is not just the only thing you've done. You've been in films, you've done many other projects.
Yeah.
But is there something for you that you've enjoyed working on the most, would you say?
Well, you know what? I mean, Hollyoaks was a big part of my life, big part of my acting career. One of the most important decisions I've ever made. You know, I've always wanted to work in this country. You know, I was working in America, but I was 11 hours away from my daughter. I was 11 hours away from my family, my country. And you know, here, this country, the TV and the movies that you guys make are second to none. The personalities that you have in this country are, like, I grew up watching all the time, you know. I mean, and I've always wanted to work here. I'm a 25-minute flight away from my daughter, and this is ideally this is where I want to be, you know.
Well, I'm very excited to see what you do next, and I think you're going to have so many kind of fun, exciting projects coming in, because people have seen how good you are on the Hollyoaks, and like you said, the filming, the schedule's so intense for soap operas. You must be able to do quite a lot of things. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what you're going to be up to.
It's ridiculous. Soap is just as I said, it's a different breed of animal, because I mean, like, you're doing like 6 days a week, 14 hours a day. In about 2.5 years, I did about 350 episodes, and I forgot what it was like to wake up and not have a call time. And I don't want to sound like a dick either, because I mean, that's a great position to be in. That's a brilliant position to be in, and I'm very lucky. I'm really looking forward to my next call time, whatever that may be. But if you can get used to soap, I mean, it doesn't get enough credit, soap, and continued drama is what we should really call it as well. But it's just the actors behind it. I mean, they work incredibly hard, and the people behind behind the camera, they're the heroes of the show, and they work incredibly hard too. It's been a phenomenal 2.5 years, and I feel like I can take anything on at this moment in time. Well, and I haven't even had a drink yet.
Now, my producer, who works for me on the show, is a big fan of yours. Thinks you're, is such an intelligent and just such a good actor, and she's wondering if she just have a quick kind of, speak to you and ask you a couple of questions, if possible, at all, please.
Well, she needs better taste, but absolutely.
This is Emma.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
All right, darling.
All right. What was your favourite storyline to work on in Hollyoaks?
That's a great question. There's been loads. I mean, if I think back in okay, let me think. I guess the standout moments for me would be the introduction to the domestic abuse storyline with myself and Stephen. I mean, when that happened initially, and Stephen and Kieran Richardson came out publicly as well. When that happened, the reaction was extraordinary. It was second to none. You could never have predicted it. I have a soft spot for that. Hollyoaks Laters, obviously, one of my favourites. The Dublin episodes, being able to bring my Scout family to my Dublin family and film the show there was amazing. I even had my daughter on set. She was calling cut and doing continuity and everything. They were very special moments for me. And last but not least, the exit storyline the last week.
Yeah, big time.
I think they're the highlights. I mean, yeah, everything there.
Who did you enjoy working with the most?
I'm so lucky. I mean, you're talking about a cast. I could be wrong. Cast of about 70 people, and you get to you get to break bread, you get to dance with just a small handful of these guys, and you're going to have to do this 6 days a week, so you better get on with them. Well, you don't have to, actually. You have Clinton McKeown, who, as I said, I'm downstairs having dinner with at the moment in London. He was great. He was fantastic to watch, fantastic to learn from. And he's a few chips short of a Happy Meal, there's no doubt about that. Brona, obviously. Kieran Richardson, obviously. I mean, these are... And the actors, like, at the top of their game, they always brought it. You know, that's the thing. There's going to be a few that I've missed out there. Joe Trissini, he's a nightmare. Don't even talk to me about that guy. He plays Derek in the show, or Dennis, or something or other. But, I mean, these guys came on set every day, and they were always on point. They always hit. They were great in one take. For me, it would take about 4 takes. Do you think you'd ever return to Hollyoaks at all? I've no idea. Never say never. I mean, if you see, I don't know. If you see me on Dancing on Ice, maybe. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it's I have such loyalty to the show, such loyalty to Hollyoaks, such loyalty to people behind the camera and in front. And they just want to make good TV, and they do it, you know.
Yeah.
That, you know, yeah. I mean, I could see I would never rule something out if it did happen.
A lot of people refer to you now as a sex symbol. Is that a title? You enjoy having?
What?
Is that a title you enjoy having?
That's absolutely not true. There's nothing sexy about that. They don't want to be with my face. They just want to be with the fame. That's all. And I put that in like inverted commas. I can't see myself as that. That's ridiculous. I wake up with this face every day. It's painful.
That's it now. Thank you very much for chatting to me, and yeah, good luck in the future and stuff.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
Now, Emmett, thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, I must admit, I was a little bit nervous because I thought, I might not be able to, because you seem like you're full of banter, and I'm a bit slow. I'm a bit of a, you know, a few chips short of a Happy Meal, so I wasn't sure how, but it was such a pleasure. You're such a nice guy.
Thank you, man.
I honestly do think you're going to move on to some amazing projects that you can kind of explore and just enjoy, and like you said, like Emma just said, the door could always be open for you to return to Hollyoaks, and you'd make millions and millions of viewers' dreams come true.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to the both of you.
Thank you, and obviously it'd be good to get you back on the show maybe when you've got something that you could, come on and promote, if that's something you'd like.
That'd be good for a couple of reasons. One, I'll be on your show, but secondly, more importantly, I'd have a job. I'd love to. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's dance again sometime.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on, and maybe see you on Dancing on Ice, Strictly, The Jungle.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Celebrity. Let's do it.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
God bless you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.